What is good, Mexit planners? Thank you guys for joining me today, and Happy New Year 2025. May it be prosperous for your family and that everybody is extremely blessed. Today, I want to introduce you to a couple that moved here to Merida back in March or April of last year, I believe, right? And they are completely changing the community. So they've been a huge asset to the community here in Merida. And I really wanted to tell their story about how they came here, why they came here, and all that good stuff, and introduce them to you guys because they have two projects they created since they've been here in April that has really had a tremendous impact on the community here in Merida, particularly for families. So today I want to introduce you to Eric and Nicole Hatch. So tell me, like, why Mexico, and how did you guys, what was the impetus for you guys to move to Mexico, and how did you choose Merida?
So we ended up in Mexico on a trip. I think we went to Baja California.
Okay.
And that experience just kind of gave us a taste of life outside the United States. And from then, we started checking off some of our suspicions we had about what life was like in the United States. So yeah, what should have been a 10-day vacation ended up being
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Okay. You guys are coming from Sacramento.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Sacramento and what about Sacramento made you want to leave and move to Mexico?
I think if anything in general, it was more so the U.S. and the opportunity. So Sacramento was home. I went to high school there, and we were there. Me and Eric spent together for 8 years, so we've been there for 9 years total. And it was one of those things where we just started getting tired of what was going on. I had a successful real estate business. He had a very successful tech company, and so we just kind of wanted to get out of the rat race.
Right.
So everybody wanted to be a hustler, everybody wanted to be a boss. I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. So so like we were talking about, we decided to take a vacation, and it's just been it was like life-changing in the sense of us meeting locals and La Paz, to us meeting friends, going to Mexico City, and just exploring there. And the common denominator was the culture, the family, reminding us that what is more important than, like I said, the rat race. Yeah. So
for sure.
So once we saw that, and we were in the airport, and I literally just started crying. I was like, babe, we can't live anymore. We have to get out of here. Cannot go home. So we went home, and he literally was like, okay, babe, April 1st, we're gonna get out of here. And I was like, okay. All right,
let's do it.
Yeah, and that's when we just we started just doing everything in regards to. We sold everything for $1 in our house. Like, we were just
y'all had a dollar sale.
We had $1. We sold
everything
beds,
for $1.
We sold clothes, Yeezys,
everything
was $1. That's how much of a detachment we wanted.
You were ready to go.
We were ready to go.
How did you guys prepare? Like, what was your plan? How did you develop a plan and figure out, okay, you had some time in Baja California and you went to Mexico City, but then you ended up moving to Merida?
We went in Tijuana. We was at a hotel. It was during breakfast. And it was the first day in Tijuana. And a lady, some black lady with her 2 kids, just approached us and had a conversation. The question she asked is, hey, what brings you to Tijuana? We told her. And she volunteered that she lived in Merida.
Okay.
So, while we were just kind of thinking about what life could be in Mexico, we had La Paz, Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Merida in mind as far as those places that we would go to just kind of see.
A random stranger from Merida approached you and was like, yo, I live in Merida with my kids, and
we can't find this lady.
I was gonna say, who is this lady?
We don't know.
We try to describe her to everybody here.
He
had kids. I know she was married to a local, so he was Mexican. He's from Merida. And that's pretty much what it is. And we're just and the kids are between 13 and 15. And like I said, she's the one that planned it.
And you guys have not met her, seen her since being here.
Every time we traveled or went around, people were like, "Oh my God, have you heard of Merida?" Light up, like, "Oh my God, Merida is so beautiful." We're just like, "Really?" And I started getting on YouTube, watching stuff. We saw you, and it was just like, okay, maybe we'll see what's going on.
I think it's been not necessarily a hidden gem, but it's definitely, the word is out over the last couple of years. And obviously the families have grown from just a few to many, right? To many families, as you guys well know. And you've been a huge part of the community in helping nurture that community. So Merida, you chose Merida. You guys came here in April
2024.
Yep.
It was hot in April 2024.
We got initiated, sure.
And so you didn't run away in May of 2024.
We survived that. So we've survived the heat and the mosquitoes.
Okay. And you good?
And we're good.
All right. Well,
that is the only complaint.
Literally the only negative, but everything else, it was just, I mean, everybody knew to go. We started learning.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we don't go out until after 7.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And we were right by La Plancha, which is the most beautiful park. And then that's when we started seeing, like I said, the family units, to the food out here, the culture. Everybody's just been so welcoming. It's just been beautiful.
Yeah. You guys have done one thing that I find so unconventional with people moving to Merida, particularly families moving to Merida. So most of the folks that move here to Merida that have families live in the northern part of the city, or even outside the Periférico, right? In places like Tulum, Caquel, and other Zitzia and other places. We happen to live in the north part of Merida, inside of the Periférico, but you guys have selected several houses, to my dismay, in Centro. I know your first house was the absolute best location on 47, which is the gastronomic row. You were 3 doors down from Marmalade, which was awesome. And now your new place, the place that we're at right now, is on 45, which is just 1 block away. So 1 block over. So what is it about Centro for families that you think is possible? Because I only know maybe 2 or 3 families that live in Centro.
Well, we're kind of a very outdoorsy family anyway. So if you have really amazing restaurants, we're foodies. So, we'll stop at a taco shop in a heartbeat on the side of the road. That's just how we are. And, we have one of the most beautiful parks right here in the Plancha.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much, it's just the walkability. And my husband's from New York. So it was like one of those things where we were kind of, I think at first before Merida, we were really talking about Mexico City. So we were just like, because we loved it. He loved the hustle and bustle. And I think that's one of the reasons why we kind of like the central aspect of it, because it is, it's live. Live music. We're kind of engulfed in the culture out here. So that's why we like it.
Does this satisfy your city feel, your New York City feel? The Brooklyn or Bronx side? Where are you from? Brooklyn?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. So does this satisfy the Brooklyn instinct?
Really? I wouldn't go that far. But, it's the best that I'm going to get out of Merida.
Gotcha.
Just being in the city, walking out of my house, going across the street to get some tacos. Right?
Gotcha. Okay. The thing I will tell anybody about Merida, people say, I want to live in an area that's walkable. Well, if you're inside the Periférico, you can walk anywhere. I live less than 3 miles from here. It's about 2.75 miles to be exact from this location. And I walk it or run it several days a week. So, it's definitely possible to live on the north side and still come down to Centro. Not a problem at all. So I mentioned this in the beginning of the video about one of the projects that you guys have created. And, there's always been meetups and things of that nature here, but you've done something that has been pretty remarkable in cultivating a family every Thursday night meetup at the park.
Yes, absolutely. So I just saw that there wasn't a lot of meetups. It was always like, we're in WhatsApp groups are like nemesis. Like it's so many groups and you're just like, everyone's trying to coordinate. So I was like, you know what, let's just do a day. It could have been, I was thinking Friday, and I was like, you know what, Thursday would be like that day where it's almost the end of the week. Kids can go to school the next day. The parents can just go and relax. And like I said, we started out with maybe 7, 8 people, if that. And last week we had over 40 40 different families with kids, and it's just been
it's been crazy.
So the kids look forward to that every week, and the parents, you know, the guys are over there drinking beer, having a good time. The girls are just hanging out, talking. It's just kind of like our meetup, our community. Let's get together. How was your week? What happened this week?
Exactly.
You know, it's just been amazing. So it's one of those things.
So for me personally, it's been really cool seeing you guys come here and start that, right? The people were here, but nobody pulled it together.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what to do to make it happen. And you guys pulled it together and got all these families to show up every Thursday like clockwork. My daughter is religious about we going on Thursdays, and last night we couldn't. Thursday seems to be my busiest work day, so we couldn't make it last night, but every Thursday she's like, are we going? So I think I'm going to just start blocking my calendar to make sure that is an available time. But it is Thursdays from 6 to
8.
Which normally goes 6 to 10.
Yeah, 6 to 10, because you know how we are. We like to talk and enjoy ourselves. But yeah, 6 to 8, like clockwork, every Thursday. We've had a lot of people that come just to visit Merida that just, hey, we heard about the Thursday night, and it's just amazing.
So what's interesting is, you know, there's a couple of events that I think are the welcome community events when you first get to Merida, right? And Saturday park walk at Parque Alemán, but Thursday nights is definitely the night for the kids. And Parque La Plancha is really cool because there are multiple playground areas. We meet at the playground area in front of the food pavilion. So in that food pavilion, there are all sorts of restaurants, smaller versions of some of the larger restaurants like Tropico, Mustache, Santa Clara, just all sorts of kind of restaurants in tap rooms and things of that nature. So you can get craft beer, you can get pizza. My favorite is you can get a burrito, mojitos, the bowl. The bowl is off the chain. So Thursday nights is one of the things that you guys have started. And one of the things I really love is that you celebrate the birthdays every month for all the kids, which I think is just incredibly awesome. Right? So everybody feels special. Having a celebration at the park really helps, you know, people feel included right away, whether they've met other folks or not, I guess is a better way to say it. Anything else you want to add as far as your journey here so far?
That is a lot. We're in Mexico for many reasons. Many. I mean, it's no surprise. Like everybody in the world knows that people that look like us, you know, our ancestors survived 400 years of slavery. And then another 60 years we have oppression. So in this journey of just us getting outside of the United States and going to Mexico, so many things just kind of lined up, like starting with health. Well, we know that healthcare here is more affordable, but I noticed my body start to change, losing weight, have more mental clarity, less brain fog, the list goes on. So just from a health perspective, you have access to a true organic food. Things that are not even labeled organic is healing me.
Just real food.
And it's healing people that have really similar stories that are in other places in Mexico. That's just one aspect, and I can't gatekeep that information. So part of our journey includes us sending a message back home to people, to Black people, saying, hey, I found a sense of freedom that you've never come across. That includes a better quality of life through health, through friendships. Like back home in the States, I got a handful of people I associate with. But here I have a whole community I associate with. Because something changes when you can leave the United States, which is toxic in many different aspects, and end up in a place like Mexico where the culture puts family first.
Yes. Period. Yeah, that was the number one draw for us. So I'm glad you guys are experiencing that. That was definitely family first. It was the number one draw for us. The thing that I don't know that you realize living in the States is that the subconscious stress that you go through, the subconscious things that we deal with that you don't deal with once you leave the country. And once you have that mental capacity free, it opens up the door for everything else. Your health gets better, you lose weight, you're now exercising, you're listening to the birds, you're watching the flowers, you're doing all the things you've heard me talk about over the last 5 years, you know, on this channel. And it's just it's a game changer. So I know a lot of you right now in this moment, you know, as we approach January 20th, you're struggling with fear and anxiety and what's going to happen with the country and all of those things. Well, we definitely feel concerned for you, but we also want to, as Eric said, open a path for you to start to plan your exit if that's something you're looking to do. If you're watching this channel, you're probably already considering it, or you're probably already along the path. In February, I am starting the Roadmap to Expat training program, live coaching program. For 6 Saturdays in a row, we'll be going over how to, you know, move to Mexico, how to plan your move from A to Z, and after you arrive here, how to thrive once you get here. So I hope you'll be able to join the Roadmap to Expat coaching program. I'll leave links to all of that in the description notes below. But these guys are living proof that your life does get better when you...
It is way better. There's healing on the other side of that wall.
So we are at Dreams Event Space here in Expats, Merida. So if you don't know, Expats is just at the edge of Centro. Right, I would call it the last colonial before you get to the north part of Merida. So it's very centrally located to both the north and Centro. And this is a phenomenal neighborhood and a phenomenal event space. And the reason it's called Dreams is because
whatever you think of or dream of, we can probably make it happen here for sure.
So my dream was my 50th birthday party, which took place back in December. Actually, it took place at the end of November, like the day before my birthday until my birthday. And my dream during that birthday party was to be a DJ.
He did it.
And I lived out my dream. So I'll put some video of me doing my first DJ set.
Dance.
Yeah, no, I can't put the dance. And let me just say that the folks that helped me bring in my birthday, I really appreciate them. And it was, I think, one of the most talked about events of the year, so of 2024. So this is an incredible space. I've seen this place transform multiple times. We went to, I think my first event here was Velvet Soul.
Yes, Velvet Soul.
Which was an all-white party, which was incredible. And then there was Thanksgiving, we came, which was completely different.
Yes.
And then there was my birthday and New Year's Eve. So all of that happened over the last 6 weeks.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been, so how long has the space been open? Tell me about this space and what made you guys decide to do something like this.
So we've had the space for about 3 months, since October. And this space is really meant, it's like our first community center, you know. It allows people of our community to bring their ideas, to bring that familiarity that we're used to from the States, parties, cookouts, backyard boogies, and to have that here so people can feel like home and be amongst people that look and talk and walk like them.
The other thing that I like about this space is it's not just about the turn up, but also the wind down, right? And part of that is the Self-Care Sunday. So let's talk about, let me get Nicole to talk about Self-Care Sunday.
Yes, so like we were talking about before, is more so like the wellness aspect of everything. So yes, we have local yogis and Pilates studios that are locally come and teach a class. And we also have like meditation, we have bottomless mimosas, we have really good food, we have a DJ, and we have workshops, like we had a paint and sip, like this next one we're gonna be making candles. We're very intentional in regards to having that, just that day of you to just wind down, because you know what, God rested on the seventh day, on that Sunday. So one of those things, that's what so we do transform the whole place. And it's just, so bring your yoga mats and just relax, and just from 10 to 2 you just forget about it all and leave it all outside, and then come out and worry about you. So
the thing that, you know, I've seen the videos for Self-Care Sunday, and I'm like, we need something like that for the fellas there. So
hey, stay tuned. Stay tuned. So next month we actually are having a male yogi. We had one last month, and he's coming back on in February, and it's going to be, we're going to invite all the fellas to come out and get their self-care on. Yeah. Look, he has to be there now. Look.
So I'm on the hook.
Yes.
So cool. So I will be at the first males. I guess I don't know if it's going to be Self-Care Sunday or.
Yeah, it's a Self-Care Sunday.
But it needs to happen after football season. But we'll figure.
It's after Super Bowl, so we'll be okay. And then we may be doing a Super Bowl party, and like I said, like my husband was saying, you know, we really focus on the community aspect of it. For a lot of our events, we also provide childcare, because a lot of people that are not from here, and you know, it's kind of hard to have someone, you know, that doesn't know your child or you feel safe with. So at least you can party, and you can leave your kid on right next door, and you can go and check on them whenever you need to. But for the most part, you're able to have a good time. And so we definitely we enforce the childcare aspect of it. So
I will say that, you know, if it wasn't for the offering of childcare, we probably would have just stayed home New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I both had a great time New Year's Eve. We were able to celebrate with other adults, have cocktails, just hang out, mingle, while our kids were tucked away having activities. They're not listening to anything they shouldn't be listening to, or doing anything they shouldn't be exposed to. So it is just a wonderful time for both. You know, they had a great time, because she probably would have been in the bed at 9 o'clock if it wasn't for the fact that there was this event to come to. So I really appreciate you guys for everything that you've done within the community. When I had my party here, I said I wanted to make this video. So thank you for letting me do that and share your story with all the MexitPlanners out there. I hope this inspires you. If you have any events coming up, please consider Dreams Event Space. They can definitely make it happen for you. Come out. If you're coming here to Merida to visit, you're here on a Thursday night, check us out at the Sunset Playdates or at Parque La Plancha, and I'll leave a link to the event calendar in the description notes below. Until next time, MexitPlans Monty, we out.